Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Kelsey. I'm Kelsey here, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and today we're going to do the kick up. We're going to kick up to handstand. Kick up to handstand is super important. For one, it's the key way of getting into your handstand. Usually people don't start with pressing. Kicking up is the way to go, and it's an incredible way to A, build strength in your handstand, and B, build awareness. If you get up into your handstand and you're totally spooked and you don't know left from right and up and down, which we all are there, it can be really off-putting and you're gonna fall. So that kicking up, and it's gonna happen, let me just warn you right now, the kick up to handstand is gonna happen a million times, maybe 100,000 times before you hit that good handstand where you can hold it. The kick up is so tough, so frustrating. You feel like you just do it, it's not going anywhere. But the kick up is exactly what you need to do to build that strength. So I'm going to show you what I do to build the kick up, and there's a lot of different ways to kick up, so we'll talk about a couple of different things. We'll talk about form, and we're just going to kick up. So if you feel like you've been kicking up for a year or two and you ain't quite there holding your handstand yet, you're probably right there. But did you notice I said a year? You could be kicking up for a year before you hold it. Be okay with that. The kick up is that important. All right, so when I kick up into a handstand, hand placement, it's going to get worked out as you do this a million times, but for the most part, hands are about as wide as the shoulders, maybe just to the outside of the shoulder bones. And fingers are comfortably spread, not crazy wide, but just down enough that I can start to grip, because as you start to kick up and maybe feel like you may kick over, you want your fingers to be your grippers. They're going to be your brakes, your stops. Just like if you're standing and you start to fall, what happens? You grip with your toes. Same thing's going to happen with your hands. As you start to fall over, you tiger claw, you spider finger the mat, and that can help you to stop from falling over. This will just develop with time, but as your fingers are spread comfortably, you'll be able to grip a little bit better. All right, so hands are down, fingers are comfortably spread. I'm ready to grip if I need to. What's really important is that you bring the shoulders forward. A lot of people, I see a lot of people kick back or kick up from way back here, and watch what happens. I mean, I guess with enough power from the legs, you can do it, but if you bring the shoulders forward so that the shoulders are over the wrists, you're gonna have a lot shorter stance to jump, and then the shoulders can push up at the top, and you are much more likely to catch that hold. So if you find yourself kicking up a million times and you're not getting anywhere, bring the shoulders forward, stack the shoulders over the wrists, okay? That was huge for me that first year. I was kicking up way back here, and you need to be here with the shoulders pushing, a little protraction between the shoulder blades, and then I want you to think low belly in, but the core isn't super important until you get into the air. So don't overly worry about what's happening with the abs or what's happening with the glutes until you start to catch that hang time. And then we're gonna start to like corset, squeeze, tighten everything in. But the kicking up is not as important, but you're developing that core strength by doing those kick-ups. Okay, so fingers are spread, shoulders are forward, and pushing out of the back. See the difference here? I'm kind of dropping in. Here I'm protracting, I'm rounding, and I'm pushing. I'm right-handed, so I'm also dominant right leg, and that's probably the case for you as well. Most of us are right-handed, and so your right leg's probably stronger. Doesn't mean that it is. You may be more strong in the left leg, and that's fine too. We're gonna kick up on both sides. To do both sides is really important. I probably don't do it 50-50. I probably do like 25-33% with my left leg and 75% with my right leg, but try to do both because we wanna stay balanced, right? You don't wanna have like one jacked leg and one not. So if you're gonna kick up 10 times with your right, go for 10 times with your left, or at least 5 or 6, all right? Now here is some of the key stuff with kicking up. It is not with feet flat. So watch me with feet flat. It's just weird. I don't know. And it can be very jarring. I've gotten pretty good at taking the impact, but if you're brand new to kicking up, that impact is really gonna hurt those hips, the knees, the ankles, the toes. That impact does not feel good. So I've said it before in so many of my videos, balls of the toes, please use the balls of your toes. You're gonna take off on the balls of your toes, you're gonna land on the balls of your toes, and then all the joints up to your hips are gonna help take that impact by bending and bracing like a spring that coils. It's gonna take that impact. If you don't, if you lock those joints out, you're gonna hurt yourself. So everything bends and absorbs the weight of your body from that jump. So right leg on the ball of the toe, I kind of come back to take some momentum with me, and then I go up and I lift with my top leg. So this is gonna lift, and this, so left leg's gonna lift, right leg is gonna launch. Ball of the toe, a little bend, push, come back down. As soon as you get that push, as soon as you take flight, shoulders push. Land the same way, that's so important. Take off of the ball of the toe, land on the ball of the toe, bend at the ankle, bend at the knee, bend at the hip. Let those joints take the impact. They're made for that. Don't lock them out, you will hurt them. So practice that itself a million times, just the coming up, coming down, look at all the things bending, and everything is staying injury-free, okay? And of course, the other side. Makes a big difference. Okay, so I will say that a million times, you'll hear me in other videos, balls of the toes, let that impact get absorbed through the joints, don't flat foot it, you will hurt yourself, you'll hurt your heel. The heel hates it, there's nothing there to protect it. And the other thing, once you hit that air, that push out of the shoulders. And if you're not used to that kind of push out of the shoulders and you dump, and you start to drop between the shoulder blades, you're not gonna find that lift. So as soon as you take flight, as soon as the feet are off the floor, you push, and the ears rise up towards the shoulders. And a nice little drill to practice that is to get your yoga block and to hold it and lift, 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 lift. I mean, gosh, you could do this 25 to 100 times and you would get the idea. This isn't even a heavy block, it's foam, but to hold it up here like this, it's hard work for the shoulders, for the rotator cuff muscles, for the back muscles, the lats are turning on. So get used to that lift that has to happen. And you know, in order for that to happen in itself, you have to have very open shoulders. So for some of you guys, or even girls that have very strong, tight shoulders, you're not gonna have the shoulders more open than this. And that in itself is going to be a problem. You can't hold a straight handstand like this, you'll fall. And you know, strong shoulders, amazing, but we gotta get them to open a little bit. And I don't think any posture does it better than puppy pose. I love puppy pose on the floor, I love puppy pose on the wall, I love puppy pose on, you know, my kitchen island. You just extend the arms, drop the chest. And for those of you with those very tight shoulders, you gotta do those stretches a couple of times a day. And the wall's a nice way to do it, or the island counter is a nice way to do it, because as you rest your hands on the island, you can drop your chest and your head even lower than your arms and get a super deep stretch. So if working on the shoulders is something that you need to do, make that something that you do a couple of times a day, at least a couple of times a week. Otherwise, you're not going to hit that handstand. So let's go over a couple more things as I hop up. Maybe some more things will come to me. Oh, and just, you know, make it a habit to kick up 25, 50 times a day. I had a girl today say that, oh, but my quads, my legs are dead. Okay, that's okay. So you can't kick up 50 times because your legs are super, super tired. Kick up 10 times, take a break, 10 times, take a break, 10 times, take a break. You have to build the strength in the quads. I don't have overly muscular legs, but they're obviously pretty strong because I can kick up, you know, hundreds of times a day if I need to, because I've done it. So build that strength. Don't think of it as a failure. Think of it as a drill, as a, you know, a workout, as a strength exercise that's going to help you to be able to get that freestanding handstand. You can kick up to the wall if you feel more comfortable. Some people will not kick hard enough if they're freestanding. So this is freestanding, I have no wall to land on. So some people are so afraid that they're gonna kick up and fall over and do a back bend, which most of the time you don't. I mean, if you're kicking up with a knee pulled in, likely if you're gonna fall, you're gonna go back down this way. If the worst, maybe you fall off to the side. And I do have a video about falling safely if that's your concern. So if you're super worried about kicking over and going into a wheel and you're like, I can't do that, then you can kick up to the wall. But I want you to focus on kicking up softly. You have to have enough power to get all the way up, and that's gonna come from your legs. thinking about getting the hips over the shoulders. But if you do kick up into the wall, you have to kick up with enough power to get all the way up, but not smash through the drywall and create a hole. And still that's gonna just take some effort and some practice. And it's one of those things you just have to do enough times that your body gets its own awareness. But I think that there's no harm in kicking up freestanding in the middle of a room, because likelihood of you falling over is probably pretty slim. It's probably pretty slim, and if you're worried about that, keep one knee pulled in. So one knee pulled in will look like this. Shoulders forward, ball of the toe, I'm ready to push, launch, knee in. I'm lifting with that top leg, and if I'm afraid I'm gonna fall over, I'm just gonna keep this knee pulled in, and the likelihood of me falling all the way over is pretty slim, because look I can always just pull with that bent leg back towards the floor, or cartwheel up to the side. Either is a great option. So single leg kick is typically the way that you're going to do it, you know, like I'm showing you, either with one leg or with the left or the right. This is a single leg, but you can also kick up with both legs in a tuck position. It is a lot harder, but you'll definitely build that strength through the quads, through the hips, and through the shoulders. But likelihood you probably won't hit that straight handstand unless you've been doing this for quite some time. So this is a tuck position. Remember, bend the knees, hips go down, get ready to launch, tuck it in. A lot of people tuck like this, and then look, you fall over. That's exactly why you don't want to tuck like that, because you'll fall over and you banana back, and it's just not a pretty handstand. So instead, when you do tuck up, think about pulling the thighs towards the belly, okay? And that can take some time to get used to that, but that tuck position is super good for building strength in the legs and for building strength through the core. So again, come back on the balls of the toes. I'm getting ready to launch. I'm gonna come all the way to here. I'm not gonna launch up at right here, because watch what happens. I have to come forward, okay? So pushing back, getting that power, forward and kick. Thighs to belly. They don't have to touch, but I'm not arching and overdoing it. And then from here, after you've done these kinds of kick-ups for a long time and you've built that strength and you're not spooked when you start to catch that air time, because that's what will happen. You'll kick up hundreds of times, and then all of a sudden, I got like 2 or 3 seconds hold. You know what I mean? You get one of these. You kick up, and you're like, oh my God, I'm holding, oh my God. And then you spook yourself because you didn't expect that to happen. But what happened was you have now built that inner strength to be able to hold it. What you don't have yet is the awareness, the calm, you know, that meditative quality to go, oh, I'm here, I'm holding. I'm just gonna breathe, I'm gonna count, I'm gonna do whatever I do. So be aware that those first few times that you catch that air time, you'll be spooked. I think we all were, especially when it's a free standing handstand. So that's okay, no big deal. Breathe through it, and those will build. Those freestanding handstands where you catch that air time, 2-3 seconds, they'll start happening more and more often. You get it 2 or 3 times a day, then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, I got one that was 5 seconds, oh my gosh, I got one that was 10 seconds. And now you get to start to train your brain to go, okay, I'm here. And then once you're calm in that 10 seconds, upside down, then you can start saying, I think I want to move my eyes. I think I want to straighten my legs. I think I want to cross my legs. But first you have to get to the point that you can kick up with the shoulders stacked over the wrists, the hips over the shoulders, and then eventually the legs up in the air. And then you have to kick up so that you're not spooked. And then you have to kick up so that you're not spooked and you can stay 10 seconds and stay calm. And then you can start changing things up. And that's gonna require hundreds of thousands of kick-ups. All right, maybe just thousands, just a lot of kick-ups, just a lot of kick-ups. So you can do the single leg, doing both sides, really hard with that opposite leg. You can do a tuck. And another fun way to jump up is with a pike press, or a pike jump, excuse me, not a press, pike jump. And these These are super hard, so don't do these in more than like sets of 5 and then rest, sets of 5 and then rest. And the key with these is like know where your hips are. Where are my hips when I kick up? Did they get all the way over my shoulders? Because if they didn't, you're not gonna hold it. You gotta stack the body. So when you pike up, when you pike jump, think about where are my hips? Am I pressing out of the shoulders? Stay calm, glue the legs together. Here's a pike jump. Go down, looks just like a tuck jump at first, excuse me. Legs together and straight when you launch. That was a bad one, let me try again. And maybe that shows you too that I still have plenty of bad jumps all the time. And especially when I'm very tired or not quite warmed up, usually the very beginning and the very end, they look like trash to me. And that's okay. They're not all gonna be winners. That's all right. So just jump and jump and jump and jump again. Now remember too, if you're kicking up into the wall, you have to kick up softly. So ball of the toe, send your leg up, try to be soft, tell yourself soft, soft up, soft down. I see so many people do this. Sorry, wall. Bam, and it looks painful. It looks painful. So instead, think to yourself soft, think to yourself quiet. In the beginning it won't be. In the beginning it won't be, so make sure you have a solid wall. Maybe use socks to soften the blow. Don't wear shoes. But tell yourself soft, tell yourself quiet. Push out of the shoulders. Land on the ball of the toe, launch off the ball of the toe. Know where your hips are in space. Palms are down. Maybe you're gripping with the fingers and you're gonna kick up thousands of times. And you know, if you want me to check out your form, we are now doing classes together Sunday mornings. I'd love to see what you're doing in your kick-ups and your handstands. Or you can tag me on my Instagram account at Kelsey Yogi. And I guess that's it. Just get used to kicking up all day, all the time, and it's gonna build the strength in your legs, it's gonna build the strength in your shoulders. You're not there yet, but you're gonna be there soon, okay? Really good job today, guys. I hope that was helpful to you. Please share this on your social media or share it with a friend that you're wanting to do this handstand journey with, because it's always more fun with a friend. Please subscribe. We're so close to 5,000. And if we want to do something for 5,000, please give me an idea. I don't know. I don't know what people do on YouTube. Do they do giveaways? Could we do like a mat giveaway or block giveaway, or I don't know. Give me a comment. Let me know what you think. I'm super proud. You guys are doing amazing in your handstand journeys. I love when you tag me and show me what you're doing. Awesome job. Take care. Drink your water. Namaste.